Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. Uh, I just want to let everybody know that we're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay. Also, the subscriber mode has been enabled for the first 5 minutes, meaning if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you'll need to subscribe to the channel. I also have another channel, a much smaller channel called Latina Diaspora, where I discuss issues pertaining to Latinos residing in the United States. The link to that channel is in the description. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel. Whether you've been a member of the Uncommon Folk from the very beginning or recently joined this week, I really appreciate your love and support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, as well as those who allow me to enter into devices and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so already, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. As you can see by the thumbnail, tonight we're going to be talking about my favorite season of the year, which is winter. And today is officially the first day of winter. First of all, Memisa State, happy first day of winter to all of those who love winter or hate winter, okay? It is here, nevertheless. Now, before we get into the main topic, why I love winter so much, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. We're going to start with some bad news that came to my attention recently. For those of you who are watch Major League Baseball in the 80s and 90s, many of you may be familiar with Ricky Henderson, who played a large portion of his career with the Oakland Athletics, the New York Yankees, and briefly for the Boston Red Sox. Okay, he was a rare individual who not only had speed but also power. He was able to steal many bases and hit home runs. A rare combination of speed and power. Okay, and in fact, he had set many stolen base records during his playing career. It was announced that unfortunately Ricky Henderson, who was a Hall of Famer, passed away this week at the age of 65. Nothing has been mentioned regarding what caused his passing, but it is a sad day, particularly to his family, his friends, and his fans. Okay, so I just want to start by expressing my words of condolences to the Henderson family. Of course, nothing I can say can take away their grief, but definitely my thoughts go with his family and friends and supporters. Now, I'm changing from that situation. In the world of TikTok, there is a young lady who has a channel on TikTok called Cooking with Kaya. Okay. Now, For those of you who are not familiar with TikTok and Guy, she is a young African American female. Um, I would say she's in her 20s, and she would post videos. And of course, her, her have her intro when she was, she say, cooking with Kaya, cooking with Kaya. So what she would do is she would do a little twerking, fully clothed, and then she would cook meals, and then she would say, "Well, I can take your man." Okay. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of ladies who've been upset with her with the fact that A, she's talking about that she has the confidence that she can steal your man, number one. Number two, the fact that she's cooking with the intent of pleasing a man. Okay. And this is where it's 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 odd. First of all, based on what I see, there's some amount of jealousy involved. First of all, because she's really blown up in the TikTok streets, creating these cute little videos and teaching people, particularly women, how to cook. Okay. And of course, somebody's mom is upset, and then they post on TikTok. I don't cook and I don't clean, but yeah, I got this ring anyway. Okay. So apparently, she has ruffled some feathers to the extent that they have her removed from TikTok, all because of jealousy, all because of the fact that she can cook, and look, she's very pleasing to look at. I'm not gonna lie, okay? She's very attractive and she's very talented, and it seems like some people are really upset with this lady. Okay, all I'm gonna say to these, and I'm gonna use the term ladies loosely, that that been trying to get her removed from TikTok. You know what? If you cannot handle it, why don't you just do the intelligent thing and don't watch her content? Okay, this is the thing that's so bizarre. Okay, it's not like she's expressing words of profanity. It's not like she's butt naked. It's not like she's advocating violence or or in any way that she's in violation of the community guidelines of TikTok. All she wants to do is cook, look cute, and do a little twerking. Big deal. Okay. Look, we are living in a day and age that we want to cancel everybody who we don't like, or is not like us in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Whatever happened to diversity? Whatever happened to being your own, letting people be their own selves, as long as they're not hurting anybody, as long as they're not being insulting anybody? What is the harm that this young lady wants to go out and cook and do a little twerking? It's not like she's butt naked or anything like that. She's fully clothed. Unfortunately, we're living in the day and age when people get upset over nothing. Okay, maybe now I would love to see her on YouTube. Um, but you know what? To each one's own. To each one's own. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem. Okay, this is the problem right there. Is that people cannot stand the fact that men are flocking to her, men are paying attention to her, and basically, heaven forbid, these men might tell these ladies, "Well, do you see this cooking with Kaya? Why don't you prepare me a nice meal like she does?" I mean, heaven forbid they do something like that they cook and clean. I mean, this is the crazy part. They're talking about they want their boyfriends to do husband things, okay, but yet they don't want to do wifey things because they are a girlfriend. Well, okay, well, if you don't do wifey things as a girlfriend, then how the heck they're gonna find out how you're gonna function as a wife? Okay, and this is why some of these men have decided not to date at all, or if they do decide to date, they're gonna go overseas to try to find a more traditional female. Okay, now I have no problem with that. The problem is sometimes these guys trash American women. And let me make this perfectly clear, and I gotta make it perfectly clear. Not all women are the same. There are still some women left in the United States that have no problem performing in a feminine role, that have no problem being supported to their man and what have you. It's just that unfortunately, if you take a look at social media, it's all about women want to be boss chicks and what have you, and expect these men to have all these outrageous expectations to be traditional men when she is not willing to be when they're not willing to be with traditional women. Make that make sense, folks. Make that make sense. Okay. Now, next week's schedule is going to be somewhat similar to this week's schedule. Okay. Meaning, I'm going to be doing a stream on Monday. Christmas Eve, which is Tuesday, I might do a short stream, basically my Christmas message to the oncoming folk. I probably won't even drop the link on Tuesday because I'm not going to be there that long. Because let's keep it real. It's Christmas Eve. People are going to be with their family and loved ones. They're not going to be spending um, any length of time on YouTube or social media. Yep, she has her own opinion, okay, and it seems like that's a major character flaw on some people. So I'm gonna do a stream after Monday. I'll do a stream on Thursday and one on Friday. Okay. But with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. Now, before I continue, let me just state for the record that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to hit that link and express their opinion about the topic, they can do so. Again, let me just state for the record that if I've never seen you before, if I never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriate which could cause the people of YouTube to take down the stream. Now, today is the day I've been waiting for months. Drum roll. Today is the first day of winter. Yay! Now, you're probably wondering, why am I being so happy about the first day of winter? I don't have a logical explanation for it. I just love winter. I love winter. I love the cold. Okay. Oh, come on, Early. Oh, come on now. Let me have my fun. Okay. For me, the first day of winter is like an unofficial holiday. And what you do at a holiday, you celebrate. Okay. Now, why do I love winter? Okay. First of all, it is my favorite time of the year. And it's for lots of reasons. Okay. First of all, is that the weather gets nice and cold. Okay. Right now, I'm in New York, and they're talking about that the temperature will go down to the teens, which in my definition is what I call light winter. Other people will call it frigid cold, but I mean, I just love. I don't know why. It's just that every time I go outside when it's cold outside, it actually puts a pep in my step and makes me happy. It puts me in how winter used to be for me. Okay. I hope people can hear me because my Wi-Fi is acting up again. Okay. So that's the first reason why I love winter. I'm probably not going to be on live maybe 45 minutes to an hour, depending how the interaction is. Now, what is the next reason why I love winter so much? First of all, you have holidays, lots of holidays that come up around Christmas time. First of all, uh, you have, for me, well, even though it's not an official holiday, but for me, the first day of winter is an unofficial holiday, so I get to rejoice in the arrival of winter. Also, to bear in mind that this is another name for it. It's called the winter solstice, and this is the time of the year where the evening is the longest and the days are the shortest. So, so going into tomorrow, the nights will start to begin to get shorter bit by bit, and the days will start to get longer bit by bit. Okay, and it will continue for the next 6 to 7 months until we get into July, the first day of summer, which I suspect many of you are looking forward to. So that's the first holiday that I look forward to. And of course, another holiday that I love, that I look forward to is Christmas, of course. Okay. Now, first of all, we all know for the most part that Jesus of Nazareth was not born on December the 25th. Okay. And if you take a look at the biblical account in the Gospel of Luke, at the time that Jesus was born, the shepherds were out in the field tending to their flocks. Okay. You're not going to see shepherds out there in the field tending the flocks in the midst of winter. Okay. They're gonna be inside because most likely they don't like cold. And of course, Christmas is a time to be with family, to be with loved ones. Um, it is to rejoice in the camaraderie of friends. You also get to eat some good food. Have some libations, whether it be um, non-alcoholic or alcoholic, and of course, there's lively music. Okay, so that's now another holiday is Hanukkah, of course, which is the festival of lights, where they celebrate that the fact that the menorah, which is their light candle lantern, um, the fact that they only had oil to light the lantern for one day and it lasted for 8. So that's another holiday. And this year, um, the first day of Hanukkah begins on Christmas Day. So it's very rare that when you have Hanukkah and Christmas fall at the same time. Okay. The next holiday that comes up is Kwanzaa, which is an Afrocentric holiday, uh, which goes from December the 25th, I think, to January the 1st. I'm probably going to be doing a stream regarding Kwanzaa next week. Okay. And of course, during Kwanzaa, they discuss um, 8 different principles that are fundamental within the African community. So that's another holiday that we celebrate. The next holiday that we celebrate is, of course, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Okay, that's the time that we ring out the old year, we bring in the new year, we are with family, we are with loved ones. Okay, it's a time of celebration. It's a time that we eat some food, good food. It's a time that we dance. Every time we listen to music. Um, there are people that actually go to Times Square and they actually wait for hours um, for the privilege of being outside in Times Square to watch the ball drop. Okay, and then once the ball drop, that means that it's the new year has arrived. Okay, now I have never spent New Year's Eve outside. Um, if I was going to do that, I would have to be with people. Okay, um, I don't feel comfortable spending New Year's Eve outside with a bunch of strangers that I don't know because, first of all, you have to be mindful. Number one, number two, they got you have some of them that's going to consume alcohol, and it's the problem when people consume alcohol, they act a little goofy, and sometimes they get weird, and sometimes they get violent. Okay, so I would, if I was going to spend New Year's Eve out in Times Square in the street, I will have to be with some friends of mine. Okay. Now, the next holiday that comes after that is Three Kings Day, which is known in Spanish El Día de los Reyes Magos, okay, which is otherwise known as the Feast of the Epiphany, where the wise men came bearing gifts to the baby Jesus. This is another holiday that falls um, during the winter months. Okay. And of course, it's the same thing. You listen to music, you dance, you eat, you have some libations. So as you can see, one of the reasons why I love winter is that you get the party. Okay, you get the party and you have a good time, and you don't care that it's cold outside. Okay, you are out there enjoying yourself. You're being festive. Okay, and of course after that, you have Martin Luther King Day, which we acknowledge the achievement of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and being playing a big role in civil rights and trying to bring rights for not just the African American community, but all Americans as well. And of course, um, going into February, you have Valentine's Day, it's a day dedicated to love and friendship, love with your significant other, love for your friends and neighbor, friends and close associates. And of course, for us men, we're gonna spend our money. We're gonna bring flowers. We're gonna bring chocolate, and we're gonna bring a lot of the things that women want us to get. Okay, so and then finally, actually no, actually around around the same time, just before Lent, you have Mardi Gras, which is Fat Tuesday, which is the time to eat and party, what have you, before Lent, which is Wednesday. And of course, you have St. Patrick's Day when everybody is Irish, where everyone is green, and many go to the St. Patrick's Day parade and they Um, they enjoy it in the festivities and things of that nature. Some of them will have a little bit of alcohol and what have you, and some of them will get a little bit too tipsy. Okay, so let's just give you an idea of why I love winter because of all the holidays they are involved. Okay, and of course during the winter, you don't have to worry about being bitten by mosquitoes. You don't have to worry about getting heat strokes. Uh, you don't have to worry about getting sunburned because basically you're going to be covered unless you are a member of the Polar Bear Club. Okay, which reminds me, before I forget, every year we have a group of people here in New York that goes to Coney Island, okay, on New Year's Day, and they go there for the express purpose of getting into the water and swim in the cold water, which is known as the Polar Bear Club. Okay, yes, there are people that actually go to the beach on New Year's Day in cold water to bathe and swim. I have never done that. I don't think I'm going to do that, but to each one's own. And of course, uh, sometime in February, there's a phenomenon where, whatever reason, people, what they will do is they'll take off their pants and they get onto the subway. Why? I don't know. One of these days, I need to do some research as far as why people do that. I would not do that. Okay, first of all, because I don't want to get arrested for indecent exposure. Okay. Now, another reason why I love winter so much is that, see, contrary to popular belief, okay, people don't get sick because of the cold. People get sick because of the exposure of germs that are out there. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, um, germs do not flourish very well in a cold environment. Okay. First of all, do not take my word for it. I mean, if you ever been to the hospital and you ever been to the operator room, you notice that in the operator room it gets a little on the chilly side. Why? To either kill germs or reduce the amount of germs are out there. And one thing we have to bear in mind is that in the hospital, there's going to be a lot of germs. First of all, because you're dealing with a patient who have all sorts of illnesses and things of that nature. So obviously, you have to take precautions. Okay. Another reason why I love winter is easy. Okay, it's easier address the dress, and let me explain to you what I mean by that. Okay, if it gets cold, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna add layers of clothing. Okay, which means of course you're gonna have gloves, you're gonna have a hat, you're gonna have a coat, you're gonna have, if necessary, thermal underwear. Okay, you're gonna wear a scarf. Okay, just to pick no, just to make sure that you keep warm. Okay, it's easier to dress into winter. It's easier to adjust to the winter climate. When it is summer, particularly when it gets very humid, I mean, it's a challenge to stay cool. Okay. First of all, because you are perspiring a great deal and you are drinking, hopefully, water to try to cool you off. So it's easier to dress during the winter time. Okay. Now, also, there's there's particular activities which you can participate in the winter months where it does not exist in the summer months. Okay. Now, one activity that you can do is ice skating. Okay. I mean, here we have rinks here in New York and Rockefeller Center. In other places, when you can rent ice skates and you can do skating, okay, I would suggest that you learn how to ice skate first because anyone can tell you, anyone that tries to skate skate without proper preparation, you're going to be falling on quite a bit. Okay. And in the winter months, it's easier to ice skate. Okay. Also, for those of you who are more of the adventurous type, during the winter months, when there's snow on the ground, you can go skiing. Okay. Particularly in those ski resorts, and okay, for us, like in upstate New York or in other places in the country where they have ski resorts when you can ski. Okay. Also, during the winter months where there's snow, you can make snowmen and snowwomen. You can have the snow forts, and you can also have snowball fights. Particularly if if your kids love to play in the snow. Okay, you could also make snow angels and things of that nature. You can also make snowmen. Okay, so it's if you want an activity to try to um, relive your childhood, I mean, you can definitely play in the snow. Also, um, is ice hockey providing that um, that the rink is is thick enough, ice is thick enough for ice skating. Okay, but there are ice skating rinks when you can go and you can ice skate. So you can play ice hockey, things of that nature. Now there are some people, particularly those who are in Alaska, they go ice fishing. Okay, not everyone is the type of person that wants to do ice fishing, but if that is your thing, that's something you can definitely do in the winter months. Okay, so there's a few more things that I want to talk about. Um, let's see. Um, Now, obviously, there's some negative parts when it comes to the winter. Okay, first of all, the days are shorter. Okay, and some people are actually affected by winter. Some people don't like winter because, first of all, they associate with winter death. They associate with winter that it's barren. There's no leaves in the trees and things of that nature. Also, it could be a very depressing. It can, to a certain extent, uh, put you in a sad mood because there's less sunlight. Okay. Also, let's keep it real. Not everyone likes cold, and I get it. Okay. And also, um, sometimes it can bring bad memories. Okay. So I get it. Winter, okay. Winter is not everyone's cup of tea. I get it, and I appreciate it. It's just that in my case, I look at it in this fashion. Winter lasts about 90 days, or more or less. Okay. We cannot control the fact that the days are shorter. We cannot control the fact that the nights get longer. We cannot control the fact that for some people, winter represents death. Okay, and it can also represent loneliness. Okay. I just decide, you know what? I'm just gonna look at things as the glass being half full instead of being half empty. Okay, and for those who are not into attending social functions, winter is a very depressing time. Okay, and I get it. And particularly 4 years ago, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, when we had to like isolate ourselves and what have you, and we couldn't do anything other than get together via Zoom. It was a difficult time. It was a lonely time. I get it. Okay. Which is why I can see why people love the summer, because first of all, the days are longer. You get to go to the beach. You get to go to the pool. It's you get to enjoy the sun. So I get that. Okay. And I do like summertime. Okay. It's just that I don't like it when it's extremely humid. Okay. And to be fair, anything to excess is not a good thing. And also, one thing to bear in mind, that there's certain things that we do that we don't look forward to. Like for example, we don't look forward to tax season. Okay, which begins more or less from the middle of January to the middle of April. Okay, of course, no one likes to pay taxes. Okay, and if you're the type of person where you don't have any dependents or things like that, or you don't have things that you can declare um, having to do your taxes, and the fact that you will have to pay can be very depressing. Okay, particularly if you've done a lot of Christmas shopping. Okay, in November and December, and then you have to start getting ready for tax season, and then you find out you're gonna have to pay. You have to pay taxes. Now, another drawback when it comes to winter is that it's for the same thing when it comes to tax season. Um, they're coming dependent on a refund check. Okay, to help pay for all the bills that you acquired in December, mainly as far as um, buying gifts, as far as buying food and things, and other things that you need to spend in order to prepare for your holiday celebration. Okay, so unfortunately, people tend to be heavily dependent on their tax refund. Okay, now the good thing is that um, if you file electronically, you'll get your money sooner. Okay, but I know this year there was a lot of people got delayed following it, getting their refunds because I don't know why, because certain stances become. So I understand that, and this is kind of like a negative result of winter, that people become dependent on that refund check to try to catch up. Okay, so I'm just going to give you um, advice for whatever it's worth. Okay, you can accept it, you can reject it, whatever you do. Okay. Um, for next holiday season, prepare a budget. Okay, do a gifts list, prepare a budget, and how much you're going to spend for gifts, and don't go overboard. That way, you don't have to depend so much on that tax refund the following months to catch up. And actually, what you can do is you can save that money, or you can use that money for something recreational. Okay. Now, again, I get it. Now, everyone likes winter. Okay. It's just that I love it. I have no, okay. There is no logical explanation to why I love winter. It is. Now, I've been talking about this topic for about 45 minutes. Okay. And of course, you can have the opportunity to opine as far as why you think I'm crazy for um, embracing winter. Okay. Or maybe some of you should agree with some of my points. Okay. But in any case, the link to join the panel has been pinned. You're more than welcome to opine. Okay. I have a feeling not too many people are watching this live as we speak. I mean, because it is Saturday night. People are out there, you know, and engaging in maybe going out to dinner or seeing plays or what have you. It does that this week was a little crazy due to the fact that Tuesday I attended a social function, Wednesday I attended a social function, and of course yesterday I went to another social function. And for me to try to do a stream when I come home, but depending what time, I mean, it was just not realistic. But I will say this, that I did attend some functions. Okay. Um, on Tuesday, one of our committees, we had a live get together where we ate, we listened to some music, and we were able to enjoy each other's company. Okay. And then on Wednesday, I went to another part. It was a Christmas party where we had an exchange of gifts. We also had ate some food, um, have a couple of liquid refreshments, and of course, last night, um, the our locals have its holiday party where, again, I ate some good food. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of indulge a little bit when it comes to the food. Okay, I had some chicken, I had a little bit of ham, I had some yam, I had some rice, peas. Um, I also drank some coquito, okay, which is kind of like our version of eggnog. Um, I was able to chit chat with a lot of people. Of course, for me, before I left, I have to say goodbye to a lot of people because I happen to know a lot of people. So I had a wonderful time. Now, next week, I'll be spending Christmas Eve with my niece, her kids, and my sister, where we're going to eat. We're going to enjoy each other's company, maybe listen to some music. Now, as far as Christmas Day, there's this place where I went to last year where they play Christmas music and they had a Christmas meal. So I'll probably tend to that. Okay. And of course, the following week, which will be New Year's Eve, where I'm going to be spending New Year's Eve with members of my union as we eat, drink, and we ring out the old year and ring in the new year. And then the Friday that week is the Three Kings celebration, which most likely I'll be attending, which will be another opportunity to eat, drink, and have a good time. So, so definitely when the holiday season's over, then we're going to get back to our regular schedule, so to speak. Okay. Now, of course, I was not the only one that spoke about winter. My friend Miss Mo did a stream earlier today regarding the first day of winter, which is known as the winter solstice. Okay, and of course, I enjoyed myself, and I gotta admit, Miss Mo is very funny. Okay, uh, can be a little salty at times, but that's okay. Okay, uh, not everyone can be their cup of tea. Okay. So before I wrap this up, let me just give you an idea what's going to be the schedule for next Monday. I'm going to be doing a stream regarding the situation where people are being losing their jobs regarding social media. Okay. Now, what is the situation is today many large employers they have a policy regarding social media, regarding what people can say and not say, and unfortunately, you have the situation where you have certain individuals that talk negative about their employer, they talk negative regarding their co-workers or their BD superiors, or even worse, that they posted videos of this of themselves performing questionable activities, so to speak. And I'm sure and unfortunately, as a result of these activities, you see people are getting fired for violating um, their employer's policy when it comes to social media. Now, you may think, well, it's social media. I should be able to publish what I want and whatever at my discretion. I mean, look, one thing we have to bear in mind is that when we are working for our employer, whatever it might be, we are representing the employer in whatever, regardless what's the nature of our position. Okay. So therefore, when you air content that puts your employer in a negative life, okay, or you post questionable activity, well, that's going to happen. It's going to bring negative attention to your employer. And depending on the nature of the content, depending on the nature of the employer, you can become, you can, your employment can end. Okay. Now I knew of a situation where I had a friend of mine who would post videos of content regarding her channel during work hours from their work location. And I can tell you this, that's never a good thing. First of all, you're there to do a job from the beginning of your duty tour to the end of your duty time. Okay. And you have to be mindful because even if you do not mention anything about your employer, but if you air questionable content, okay, what that happen is they're not going to what they're going to see, what they're going to perceive is a representative from the organization acting irresponsibly, whether it be because they are consuming alcohol to the extent that their judgment is impaired, or they are engaged in contact conduct which is considered inappropriate. So I'm going to be talking about that um, on Monday night. Okay. Now, one thing I don't know if you ever noticed, but I don't mention anything about my employer. Okay. About the only thing I might do is I might state that I'm a municipal employee. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And there's a reason why. Okay. Because I am under what's called a code of conduct. And that governs how I'm supposed to interact with the public. It covers how I'm supposed to interact with colleagues. It's how I'm supposed to interact with superiors. So, and obviously, I am not going to discuss here on this platform or any social media platform any issues that I have with the job, or any issues that I have with coworkers, or any issues that I have with my superiors. Okay, because first of all, other than the fact, besides the fact that I'm erring during learning, is that what I'm doing is I'm putting my employer in a negative light, which is not a good thing. Okay. And while I'm protected to an extent because of civil service, because I've been, I got my employment through social service, why put myself in a situation when I can, by acting foolishly, get put myself in trouble? Exactly, Irving. That's my point. Okay. If you want to act wretched, then don't do it. Okay, you should not say or you should not do on social media at all. Exactly. That's another problem. Okay, because you have people that will report to HR regarding any activity that that they perceive that you did. It's better off not to do that. So I'm definitely going to talk about that on Monday. Thursday, I'm still debating what to discuss. Um, I might, I don't know. I thought about doing a reaction video regarding um, the lady on TikTok. I'm gonna say lady because okay, that she has seven children by seven different baby daddies. Now she's pregnant with baby daddy number 8, and that the baby daddy is someone that works in food stamps. Okay, and that she got pregnant with her first child at 14, which is like, first of all, this is troubling in so many ways. I don't know. See, I don't know if this is true, but if this is true, that someone that worked in the food stamp office actually got a client pregnant, um, that's a make that I mean, there's so many major red flags because you're talking about violation of protocol. Also, you can be penalized, you can be suspended, you can lose your job. Look, I have been a municipal employee for 25 years. I am no way, shape, or form whatsoever, and I'm going to engage with a booty call with a client. No way. First of all, I'm sorry, but the cat is not that. It's not that. It's not risk. It's not the risk. It's not. It's not that important to risk my job, particularly that I'm close to retirement. Okay, I'm sorry, but no kitty cat is worth me risking my job. So I don't know about. Well, we'll see. I'm probably gonna make a decision on it on Monday, and of course Friday will be another open discussion where I will discuss things that I have an opinion about, and of course the audience will have an opportunity to opine, and of course, if they have anything that they want me to discuss, I'll do my best to comply. Now, before I leave, this one thing that I've neglected to add. It seems like um, Hybrid Vigor has either privated all his channels or deleted his channels. Why? I don't know. Okay. Um, for those of you who are not familiar who he is a YouTube creator. He is mulatto. His his father is black. His mother is white, and he tends to create a lot of content that's very off-putting and things of that nature. Tends to be somewhat conservative, um, expressing his viewpoint about particularly Americans here in the United States, which he's Canadian, so I mean he's entitled to his point of view. But maybe he's just taking the time out to tend to other things. In either case, you know. Well, let's just say this person is unique, and this person is his own individual, and I'm just gonna keep it like that. So in this case, being that no one else is gonna hit the panel and it's basically quiet, so I'm gonna put those string to rest. Okay. And of course the audience, the playback gang, do your thing, enter your comments, yay, nay, what have you. Okay. You can disagree. Just all I ask is uh, try to keep it respectable. Okay. And of course, I'm approaching. Okay, right now I'm at 496 subs, so I'm basically 4 subs away from the 500 mark. So I really would appreciate you guys. Spread the word regarding this channel. I'm not a big YouTube creator. I'm just trying to produce content that hopefully people can get some education, some knowledge, and enjoy. But in any case, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna close the same way that I always close. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron saying good night, take care, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and if you are in an area where when the weather is cold, please dress appropriately. Yeah, peace all. So thank you very much. Yeah, well, like I said before, he's his own individual. I'm just going to leave it like that. So take care and